Hello students, today we will have an interesting lesson. Look at the first slide. You can see an old vintage phone. It is the very first cell phone. And now try to guess the topic of the lesson we will have today.
The topic of our lesson is Keep Your Phone Mobile Communication. During this lesson you will learn some information about the mobile phones, you will make some tasks, and also you will get acquainted with the SMS language. At this picture you can see an amount of mobile phones, from the very first one till the modern smartphone. Now you can see the evolution and how it has changed.
At this picture you can see a short message. Want to talk, so what are you writing for? As you have understood, it is the SMS language. People use it to save their time. Before giving you the full information how the mobile phones were invented, let's learn the vocabulary which will help you to understand it better. So let's start. The first word – vital. Vital – життєво важливий. Vital – життєво важливий. Lax – слабкий. Lax – слабкий. Rival – суперник. Rival – суперник. To emerge – з'являтися. To emerge – з'являтися. Available – доступний. Available – доступний. Mast – щогла високий стовп. Mast – щогла високий стовп. As the photo you can see Alexander Graham Bell. Alexander Graham Bell was a Scottish-born scientist and inventor, best known for inventing the first working telephone. Now listen to the text and try to memorize as much as possible. Please be very attentive. After the audio, we will make some tasks for this text.
Mobile phones, by Craig Duncan. When Scotsman Alexander Graham Bell invented the telephone in 1876, it was a revolution in communication. For the first time, people could talk to each other over great distances almost as clearly as if they were in the same room. Nowadays, though, we increasingly use Bell's invention for emails, faxes and the internet rather than talking. Over the last 2 decades, a new means of spoken communication has emerged, the mobile phone. The modern mobile phone is a more complex version of the two-way radio. Traditional two-way radio was a very limited means of communication. As soon as the users moved out of range of each other's broadcast area, the signal was lost. In the 1940s, researchers began experimenting with the idea of using a number of radio masts located around the countryside to pick up signals from two-way radios. A caller would always be within range of one of the masts. When he moved too far away from one mast, the next mast would pick up the signal. Scientists referred to each mast's reception area as being a separate cell. This is why in many countries mobile phones are called cell phones. Close bracket. However, 1940s technology was still quite primitive, and the telephones were enormous boxes which had to be transported by car. The first real mobile telephone call was made in 1973 by Dr. Martin Cooper, the scientist who invented the modern mobile handset. As soon as his invention was complete, he tested it by calling a rival scientist to announce his success. Within a decade, mobile phones became available to the public. The streets of modern cities began to feature sharp-suited characters shouting into giant plastic bricks. In Britain, the mobile phone quickly became synonymous with the yuppie, the new breed of young urban professionals who carried the expensive handsets as status symbols. Around this time, many of us swore that we would never, ever own a mobile phone. But in the mid-90s, something happened. Cheaper handsets and cheaper calling rates meant that, almost overnight, it seemed that everyone had a mobile phone. And the giant plastic bricks of the 80s had evolved into smooth little objects that fitted nicely into pockets and bags. In every pub and restaurant you could hear the bleep and buzz of mobiles ringing and registering messages, occasionally breaking out into primitive versions of the latest pop songs. Cities suddenly had a new, postmodern bird song. Moreover, People's timekeeping changed. Younger readers will be amazed to know that, not long ago, people made spoken arrangements to meet at a certain place at a certain time. Once a time and place had been agreed, people met as agreed. Somewhere around the new millennium, this practice started to die out. Meeting times became approximate, subject to change at any moment under the new order of communication, the short message service SMS or text message. Going to be late? Send a text message. It takes much less effort than arriving on time, and it's much less awkward than explaining your lateness face to face. It's the perfect communication method for the busy modern lifestyle. Like email before it, the text message has altered the way we write in English, bringing more abbreviations and a more lax approach to language construction. The 160-character limit on text messages has led to a new, abbreviated version of English for fast and instantaneous communication. Traditional rules of grammar and spelling are much less important when you're sitting on the bus. Hurriedly typing will be 15 minutes late. See you at the bar. Sorry. Mobile phones, once the preserve of the high-powered Busen Espersen and the Yuppie, are now a vital part of daily life for an enormous amount of people. From school children to pensioners, every section of society has found that it's easier to stay in touch when you've got a mobile. Over the last few years, mobiles have become more and more advanced, with built-in cameras, global positioning devices and internet access. And in the next couple of years, we can expect to see the arrival of the third generation of mobile phones, powerful microcomputers with broadband internet access, which will allow us to watch TV, download internet files at high speed and send instant video clips to friends. Alexander Graham Bell would be amazed if he could see how far the science of telephony has progressed in less than 150 years. If he were around today, he might say, "That's great, but I'm busy right now. We'll call you tonight."
We continue our lesson. I hope that you remember the most important information from the track. Let's make the first task. The first task is true or false sentences. The first sentence. Listen to very attentively. Scotsman Alexander Graham Bell invented the first camera. Think it over. The right answer. Scotsman Alexander Graham Bell invented the first phone. This sentence is false. The next one. The first real mobile telephone call was made in 2015 by Dr. Martin Cooper. Think over. The first real mobile telephone call was made earlier, in 1973, by Dr. Martin Cooper. The next statement. In Britain, the mobile phones quickly became synonymous with the Yuppie. Think over. This sentence is true. The next one. In many countries, mobile phones are called cell phones. It is true. And the last one. In 1940s, the telephones were enormous boxes which had to be transported by car. It is true.
We continue our lesson with a test. Choose one answer, A, B, or C. Modern mobile phone technology is based on A. Two-way radio. B. Global positioning device. C. Yuppies. The right answer is A. Modern mobile phone technology is based on two-way radio. The second question. More people bought mobile phones in the 1990s because A. A traditional phone didn't work anymore. B. They were bad at timekeeping. C. They became a lot cheaper. The right answer is C. More people bought mobile phones in the 1990s because they became a lot cheaper. The third question. The first mobile phone call took place between A. Two scientists, B. Two Scotsmen, C. Two Yappies. The right answer is A. The first mobile phone call took place between two scientists. The fourth question. The first commercially available mobile phones looked like A. Small, pocket-sized objects, B. Telephone masts, C. Giant plastic bricks. The right answer is C. The first commercially available mobile phones looked like giant plastic bricks. The fifth question. A text message saying means A. Great, I'll call you tonight. B. Good grief, please call Willem tonight. C. I'll be 15 minutes late. The right answer is A. Great, I'll call you tonight.
In this task, we will deal with the words from SMS language. Sometimes you can even see the abbreviations. To the left, you can see short SMS words, and to the right, you can see simple words in English. Please write down the words and now let's check your answers. The first one. The answer E, before. The second one. The answer G, C. The third one. The answer J, late. The fourth one. The answer A, laugh. The fifth one. The answer C, anyone. The sixth one. The answer B, please call me. The seventh one. The answer D, can't wait. The eighth one. The answer bye-bye for now. The ninth one. The answer today. The 10th one. The answer I, thanks. During the lesson, you got acquainted with SMS language. To the left, you can see the short messages in the dialogue. Please write down their equivalents, full statements in English. Check your notes and answers in the table. As you already noticed, it is a dialogue. Want to go to the cinema later tonight? Can't go tonight. Have a date. Is weekend okay for you? Yes, Saturday okay. What do you want to see? Not a cartoon. I hate cartoons. Have you seen Spy Game? No, but I want to see. I love Brad Pitt. See you at 7? Okay, can't wait to see you. Bye-bye for now.
I hope you like this lesson. You worked very hard, and the home task is to write a short essay. Describe your own opinion. Write 10-12 sentences about the use of modern mobile phones.